It's Electricity. Welcome to my Matrix. Happy New Year's Day. I'm going to answer this question about the weirdest dream I ever had. And it's one that I had when I was a little girl. I think I was probably 8, which is probably second grade. But it's one that I remember like it happened last night. It stuck with me all these years because I believe this is what's going to happen. And it is how the world is going to end. Let me tell you about it. What's going to happen is, well, let me just tell you the dream. It's a hot summer day, July, and I think it's the 4th of July because people are off. I'm actually off that day. I'm an adult. And I decided that I was going to go down to the county fair. So there was some fair activity, probably about maybe 3 or 4 blocks happening down from my house. Everybody was there. It was an open park area. People were having cookouts. There was kind of like circus tent set up. Everybody was having a great time, and it was extremely hot because it was July. It was over 100 degrees. And everybody was drinking water. But somehow I needed to call the mayor. And I called the mayor because I thought, you know what? It is so hot. I think we need to have extra water on hand for people who need it because some people might be passing out from the heat. And he agreed. So then they had a truckload of water delivered to the park. But it kept getting hotter and hotter. And then I looked up in the sky because I finally did go down to that park area. And the sun was just like a molten ball. You know, normally you look at the sun, it's kind of like whitish, bright. This time it was different. It was actually yellow, and you could see like red swirls, like lava, swirling in the sun. And I thought, my God, something's wrong. So then I started asking people, do you see that? Do you see the sun? What's happening in the sky? And then people began to look, and I began to get alarmed. And I thought, something's very wrong. So then it kept getting hotter. I mean, you could actually see the temperature gauge. It was some way that it was a temperature gauge on a building. And you could see the temperature rising ever so slowly as it got hotter. And as it turned out, we all started speculating, I think the sun was moving toward the earth. And that something had happened in the skies, something was out of alignment, somebody had lost their magnetic field, something happened. And we realized that it kept getting hotter, people started passing out, and the sun swirling in the weird color and dimension, we thought something's wrong. The world's going to come to an end. And sure enough, that is what happened. And so I decided that if the world was going to end, I was going to be at home. So I went back to my house, and I had a 2-story home, and I had a cat. And so when I went in to the house, I, started looking around at all the things, because even in the house, the temperature was extremely, extremely hot. And I just knew we were all going to die. We're actually going to burn up because the sun is actually moving closer to the earth. And so all of a sudden, though, my cat looked at me. And I thought, oh my God, is she in distress? Is she, about to fall up from the heat? But she looked at me, and then somehow she spoke to me with her mind. She said, it's time. I was freaking out. I was like, the world's ending. Somehow my cat's communicating with me. I heard her say to me, it's time. I'm like, what the heck is happening? So then the cat tells me, get on the carpet. Now, in my hallway, I had a runner. It was like an Oriental runner. It was black. It had some sort of Oriental design on it. She says, get on the carpet. We've got to go now. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking I must have died. My cat's talking to me. I'm dead, because clearly cats don't talk mentally. So then I get on the carpet, and the front door opens somehow, and things are actually catching on fire. Like some of the trees are burning in the distance because the heat has gotten so hot that some of the trees are now on fire. And I thought, oh my gosh, the world is coming to an end. So I get on the carpet, and my cat tells me to hold on really tight. And I do. And all of a sudden, the carpet lifts up in the hallway, me in the back, the cat in the front, and we take off into the sky, kind of like Aladdin. We're riding on a magic carpet. And we're riding up into the sky. And I thought, my God, I really must be dead, because we're going into the sky. And we go up really, really high. And I noticed that I'm not the only person on a carpet with a cat. There are other people up there riding around on carpets with their cats. So then I noticed that the earth is getting way, 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 way in the distance. The land is getting harder to see. And I see above us, it's like darkness, like we're getting ready to cross the oxygen space barrier. And I thought, okay, this is it, because I can't breathe in space. I'm going to die. So then suddenly we're in space and I'm still breathing. And somehow I feel like we're encapsulated in a bubble, me and my cat. And I look around and still there are other people on carpets next to me flying with their cats. And we fly for a long, long time in space. And we get to another planet and we touch down. So when we touch down and there are other cats there. It's like a land of cats. And I realized that these cats must be aliens, because this is another race of species, talking animals, talking cats, who can actually fly through space and talk with humans, telepathy, through telepathy methods. So we get to this planet, and then all of a sudden we're all kind of like flabbergasted. All the humans, we're out of our bubbles. We're talking to each other, like we're like frantic, like what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And kind of like a cat guard makes an announcement mentally. Everything is mental. That everybody needs to calm down, that the ruler will be here soon. So we all look at each other, we quiet down. Some people are frantic, some people are crying. Some people saying, why do you leave me on Earth? I wanted to, die on Earth or whatever. But, we're all here in this place now, on this other planet. So after waiting for a while, everyone's still in an uproar, the ruler comes. The ruler is a cat, but it's a bigger cat than all the other cats. We're talking, this cat is probably the size of, I don't know. I mean, let's see. Those big dogs called the, cane corsos? Those really big dogs. It was a cat like that, like a leopard cat. But it was just like a house cat, but big that size. And so that's the ruler. The ruler cat comes out, and she has the ability to talk with her mouth in human speak. And so she talks, and she tells us that we've saved the Earth. No, the Earth cannot be saved. It was the Earth's time for it to go. The sun is actually out of orbit. It was moving closer to the Earth, and the Earth has been destroyed. The people who were selected by our cats to come to this planet are the ones that these beings felt worthy of saving. And so we've been saved. And we're to live with them forever on this planet, because we don't have an Earth to go back to. So then I look around, we're all looking around at each other, and we're just stunned. And there's some rules. The ruler says that in order for us to stay on this planet, we all have to become cats. And then we're all looking around at each other like, how are we going to become cats? Because we're all human beings. She says, there's a pill. You're all going to have to take a pill if you want to stay here. That is the only way that you can stay. And then you'll be living here forever. You'll never die. You'll be a cat. You'll also have the ability to speak to, through telepathy. Why is that word so hard today? To humans. But that's the only way that we can stay on this planet. And if we don't take the pill, after a while we will just perish, because we won't. Whatever is in the environment will then become toxic to the human body, and we will no longer survive. So I agreed to take the pill, and so do many others. We take the pill, and then slowly but surely we all morph into cats. I become a black cat. Some of the other people around me, they become other different color cats. And soon we lose the ability to speak with a human voice in a cat body, and we can only speak through telepathy. And then, as far as I know, from what I can tell, the dream kind of ends after that. We're all turning into cats, and we live forever on this different planet. Excuse me, as cats. So that is how the world ends. The apocalypse, as we know it, it's not going to happen like we all think it is, like the zombie apocalypse. Something in space is going to be out of alignment, and another species is going to, they actually were probably in control of us the whole time. Another species is going to come to Earth, or make themselves known to us in order to save the ones that they want to save, and that is how we go out. So that's the weirdest dream I've ever had, and that dream has lived with me like I had it last night. Like I have this dream I remember every detail of what everybody was wearing at the fair, at the in the area where everybody was having the fair that day. I remember what I was wearing. I mean, I have every detail in my mind like this happened yesterday. It has stuck in me since I was 8 years old, which is weird in itself, about how the world is going to end. But I truly believe that something like